group personal training facilities.
I'm just writing this down because I might what I tend to do is like with Will, I'm hopping on a call with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he's obviously in the home improvement space. Sorry, I'm already recording. So like I'll try and target his niche and see if there's any views that come out of it, because YouTube are pushing further with like their algorithm, like they're showing lower videos, so something might come out of it. But anyway, I appreciate it anyway.
Right. No, all good.
All good, so we might just get straight into it then.
Go for it.
Where were you before Bulked?
Yeah, so I went to uni and then completed uni, but to be honest, uni was a bit of a it wasn't like the hard working experience that some people might have. But after uni, came out, it was lockdown, so it was a bit of a year of nothing. And then after lockdown, got a job with like a big conversion rate optimization agency. So I got that experience for a couple of years of what a massive agency looks like. I think they had about 125 employees by the time I left. And they were working with like some of the biggest brands in the world, like Nike, for example. So they gave me that insight on like how they structure it. For them, I was doing business development. So I was doing like their outreach. I was getting leads in, booking meetings for sales rep. And then eventually I started moving into the sales role. But I secretly was also running the business at the time. Luckily, it was a work from home job, so I could dabble in a bit of both throughout the day. And essentially, after about a year, I'd say maybe 6 to 8 months of running my business and working that job, I quit. And that's when I went full-time business, which was in June. Which, to be honest, was probably a bit early to do it because I wasn't making that much money from the business, but it did shoot a rocket up my ass and made me want to make more money, which worked in my favor. So yeah, before Bolt, had a job for a couple of years, then quit. I've been doing this full time since June time.
Class. So that from where you started, what was it was business development. What was the company again?
It was called Conversion. They're like the biggest CRO company in the world, so they will optimize people's websites. But it was essentially me trying to get in people's email inboxes, trying to book meetings for that, which obviously a lot of transferable skills when it comes to doing outreach for this business, which was lucky.
And talk to me a bit about the side hustle phase. So you started with that, and that's how you got in. But how was it like balancing the two of them?
Yeah, it's interesting. I once I quit, I realized that I wasn't fully in both. Like I was not fully in either of them, so I wasn't excelling in either of them. So it was actually just like kind of a waste of time. I should have just said to myself, look, I'm going to do this, and then just jump straight into doing the side hustle full time. It did give me the experience I needed though, to be able to quit and then be like, right, I can actually do this. I know what I'm doing. It was because I was able to work from home, it was a lot easier than someone that might have a 9 to 5 in office and they have to come home and work on it for a couple of hours. Like I could jump on calls throughout the day with clients. I could manage their campaigns throughout the day. So I was lucky in that sense. But again, it was more like comfort in terms of like I was getting paid from that job. I wasn't actually doing too much work. I was able to work on my business, and at the end of the month, I knew I was getting paid. So that side hustle phase for me was actually almost like I wanted that to end quicker, but I didn't realize it until I quit and actually thought, crap, I've got no money coming in now. I have to make this work. Yeah, that's how it went.
That's class. That's really interesting. Because you know I was listening to Harry Peterson and Jordan Platten's meeting just to get some inspiration for joining on this call, and it was like that thing. Like he worked for DBT. I really recommend that video. He worked with DBT, and then like no money was coming in, so he really had to go for it. It was like an aesthetics agency. So, yeah, that's really interesting. So, how did you get your first client?
Yeah, good question. How did I get my first client? So, about June 2023, sorry, I was trying to work with nutritionists, right? And that's an untouched brand from a lot of people. But I realized it was a confidence issue because I knew I wanted to work with gyms because it's a bit of a passion of mine. I knew gyms would have been the thing that I would have got into eventually. So June, I just thought, screw it, I'm going to start reaching out to people that are advertising and offer some free services, basically. So I went on to Ads Library, and this is actually such a good tactic, which is still working for me now. Just going on to Ads Library, finding people that are advertising, but their ads look kind of crap, and then just reaching out to them. And then I won't offer free services now, but offering to help them for free for a month in return for a testimonial. I did that with 2 people. I think I reached out to like 30 people, and I got 2 people to respond, chased them like dogs. Eventually got both of them to sign up for a month. I worked with one of them for a month. He then saw the power of ads and joined a bigger agency. Like, they approached him and he joined a massive agency. So he got taken away from me. And then the other guy I was working with for about a year after that. So yeah, that tactic really, really works, because if you can see their ads are crap, you know their owner made, and the owner doesn't actually know what they're doing in terms of ads. So if you go to them and offer free services and be like, look, I do this, I've been doing this for X amount of time, you can embellish the truth a little bit, and then they'll be like, oh, this guy can help me, he'll do it for free, then why would I not do that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember I was just in the kind of a rut. Like, I didn't know which way to go. I was in a bit of a dilemma. Like, do I offer something for free? And then other people were saying they won't take you seriously if you take them for free, or if you do things for free. That's how we got in. We did like free content creation for like a dermatologist. Yeah. And now we're in solar panels and roofing and all sorts. So yeah, it's mad. So you went in nutrition first, and then you kind of dipped your toes in basically nutrition, the nutrition. And then how did you from those 2 nutritionists, right? How did you move?
Sorry to clarify. They were gyms. I was reaching out to nutritionists beforehand, trying to work with them, but I realized there was absolutely no money in that niche. And it was purely just a confidence thing, not thinking I could work with gyms. The 2 people that I signed in June were gym owners. So yeah, that's when the gym space started. I wouldn't even say I was really in the nutritionist space, but I was trying to for a fair few months, and it just wasn't working.
Okay. So did you cold call them? Did you email them? And how did that process look, like follow-ups and stuff?
Yeah, so with the gym owners, I just sent DMs. I literally just reached out to them straight to their Facebook page on Facebook, obviously, but the page that was advertising. If they looked like they had good ads, I wouldn't reach out to them because I probably didn't have much to offer. But then what I would do is basically reach out to them and be like, oh, like, I noticed you had an ad live. I'm doing this. I'm offering this completely for free for 30 days, just so I can get a testimonial. And then what I did after that was send them a ad that I built, like a optimized ad that I built, or what I thought was an optimized ad at the time. Now I look back at it, I'm like, that would not have worked. But I sent them like copy and a creative, and that sort of got them to respond, because you're giving that free value up front and then also offering a free month. So yeah, Facebook DMs, they still work for me.
That's really interesting, because not a lot of people know that. Like, they just kind of, when I open my DMs for my personal brand, it's like people want to be my editor, people want to be, you know, appointment setters or whatever it is for Blue Motion, but like, it's not personalized at all. So you got that extra step, like going on Canva and creating that is like so valuable, and also offering free month. So I'd actually would recommend people do like a free month, like, because testimonials, as Sam says in the group, you know, that could be so powerful at getting that first. Like, you can just leverage it, run ads, or do whatever, put on the website. So yeah, that's really interesting.
100%.
But what I was going to say is, how did you then scale from those 2 initial clients, where there's 2 free clients, to now paying clients? You're 5K per month right now, right?
Yes, it was a long journey, mate, to be honest with you. I'm now a year and a half deep into the gym space. Again, I would say that whilst I had a job, it wasn't really me put all of my effort into it. So you could say it's been 6 months, but it's been a long old journey. I would say at the start, I wish I did that for more people. Wish I offered more free trials to more people, because what I noticed is I brought on these couple of clients, but they weren't an overall good fit for me and the service that I wanted to deliver. Like, their back end systems were broken, and I was trying to deliver my side of the bargain, and I was fulfilling that. but because their back-end systems weren't working, they didn't know how to deal with Facebook leads, or they didn't know how to sell, which is a massive one. I was like struggling to figure out why this wasn't working, and I just thought the service was crap. But then eventually I signed a client who actually had a good system to deal with Facebook leads. They were working with Gym Launch previously, and I took over from Gym Launch. And then instantly I was like, oh my God, these guys are actually making so much money from the same process I'm applying to these other guys. But these other guys don't know how to sell, they don't know how to retain, they don't know how to deliver a product. So what I wish I did was right at the start is bring on more free trial clients, like 5 free trial clients, try and work with them for a month, get those testimonials. In reality, 3 of them probably would have gone badly and you probably wouldn't have retained them, but 2 of them might have gone really well and they would have taken you on. And what you'll find is people in business who are slightly older do actually like looking out for the young underdog. Like I had so many people that were just looking out for me for no reason, like giving me encouragement, even though I was like using their money to pay for ads. Like people are, well, inherently good people depending on the person, and they do want to help. And offering that free trial, you can just get the experience you need, and more importantly, the confidence you need to actually jump on sales calls and be like, this is what we do, like this is my system. So after I did the free stuff, I changed my product too much. This is like the biggest thing, my biggest lesson is stop getting emotional with business decisions. A few of them were essentially, so where I was working with gyms who didn't have great systems, I think I booked a guy like 30 calls in 1 month and they all turned up, or like he had 30 attended calls 1 month and he made no sales. So I was like, right, well, there's seriously an issue here. So I started doing the selling. So like I was getting the leads, calling the leads, booking them in for appointments, and then doing the selling. And it was like, I'm delivering all of this, but that's not scalable. I had like 46 like gym sales calls 1 week. I was like, this is not scalable at all. So like that was an emotional decision based off the fact that something wasn't working for them. I tried to fix it and I did get all right at it, better than him anyways. And I was delivering that value, but again, back-end systems weren't working. I sold like 17 people 1 week for 1 month for him, and like 8 of them refunded because he wasn't delivering the products that I was selling. So it's just like I can't get the commissions in because he's not delivering the product. And then eventually I realized that the big people, the big gyms that I actually want to work with, value someone coming through their doors which hasn't been pre-sold yet, like because they can sell. So I can sell that. I know I can set up these consultations. So eventually then I switched back to doing ads and appointment setting, and that's where I'm at now, and I've stuck with that model since. I've scaled through referrals and basically doing outreach. Again, another area where I've let emotions get in the way of business decisions was doing outreach for like 3 weeks, getting loads of responses or a few responses, signing a couple clients and be like, crap, I can't deal with all these clients. And then turning it off and then realizing, wait, yeah, I could have. And then having to build that momentum up again. And I've only just this month started to actually turn the outreach on for like, I think it'll be on forever now. Like there's no reason for me to turn it off because I've done it multiple times where I'll turn it on, get emotional, turn it off because I think I'm going to get overwhelmed by work, turn it back on, do the same thing over and over again. But now it's just like, just going to turn it on. If something breaks, we'll fix it, basically.
So when you say turning on outreach, is this like a cold email campaign, or are you still doing DMs?
Yes, I still do DMs. Email in the gym space just doesn't work because no gym owners look at their emails. DMs are the most effective. I'm actually using a lot of WhatsApp DMing as well now, which is it's got a good response rate. And basically by turning it on, I mean just like having everyday outreach going out. So it's like actually putting a few hours into my outreach every day rather than just servicing clients all day. Because that's one thing I realized, it's like I'm spending all this time on these clients, but some of the stuff that I'm doing for them isn't transferable to other people. So it's actually a bit of a waste of time because it's not going to help you scale. It's not going to help you build your business for other people. So like now I put way less time and effort into like the menial things that the clients wanted me to do. To be honest with you, a lot of them saw me as an internal team member for a long time, and I'm still trying to break that belief with some of them, because I was just going above and beyond to do anything they asked, which is good because I've had some clients now for like 8 months who've been paying me for 8 months, so retention is there. But it wasn't good in terms of that stuff isn't applicable to other clients, so it was actually not really worth doing that. And now the mindset is, if it works, if it's transferable to other clients, I'll do it for them. But if it's not, then I'll tell them how to do it if they really want me to. Yeah.
You touched on, sorry to cut across from you. You touched on just you being deemed as like an internal part of the team, and like that's like as cliche as it sounds, resonated with me because there's a client we're still working with and might be parting ways with because we're still trying to break that belief. And that's someone who, like, for someone who's starting out, obviously they'll take anything, but like as you get more and more clients, it's like, yeah, we really need this to be like we're an agency. We want to be, we don't want to be doing CRM management, email marketing, ads, ad management, and creative, you know, like the services. So yeah, that's really interesting. So how have you, without naming names or anything like that, how would you go about, or how did you go about kind of breaking that belief? Did you sit on a call, or just tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, it's an interesting one actually. I'm still trying to break that with one of my clients who he like, I delivered 1 month to him and he was like, can I sign you on a 12-month contract? And he wanted me to be part of his internal team because I was just starting out at that point. So with him, still trying to break that belief, to be honest, where it's like he'll ping me something to do with Go High Level. It's like, can you fix this? I can and I will, but if it's not transferable or it's like something that's nothing to do with the product that I'm delivering, then I won't do it. I'll just tell him to get in touch with the support team. So yeah, I've just been explaining my goals of the business because with these people, they've been very much on my journey with me, and I appreciate that they have been a massive part of it. So I'm actually just trying to include them in my journey and trying to learn from them, because I'll be open and honest with them and be like, look, this is what I'm trying to do, trying to build a business. And this is the place I want to go. This is how I want to build the service. And then just ask them for opinions and tips. And they'll see that. And if they churn because they don't like the fact that I brought on other people to deliver the service and I'm looking to scale it, then that's fair enough. But the people that I bring on from there, I'll be able to transfer the learnings from that one client over to them. For example, this morning, I messaged a new client just with some tips that I've been gathering off the gyms that I've been working with for the past 8 months, because I've been in the weeds with them, right? They've seen me as an internal member, like weekly calls, just discussing what's going on in the business. And that allows me now to go to new clients, be like, oh, have you tried this, by the way, to increase your back end retention? And they're like, no, that's a great idea. I'll try that. But I wouldn't have got that unless I was on the weekly calls, just talking about their business with them, and doing the random nuts and bolts stuff. So yeah, I definitely think it's probably needed at the start to give you a deeper understanding of the niche and the service and the business owner. And then once you try and break free of that, it's going to be some resistance. There's definitely going to be some resistance. But if you just keep pushing, it will work. And eventually, if they churn, then that's fine. Like, what I've realized is the people that I started working with at the start are not the type of people that I want to work with going forward. So it's like I learned off them, and that's good. That's like a very valuable learning experience. But those people spent a lot of time on them, and I would not work with them now if they came to me. So
yeah, like I sometimes I wish the clients that churned quicker, like you know, so you could take those learnings. Like a window client there churned and was like, geez, like, because like that, he was like sending me reels of like Grant Cardone talking about sales marketing. Like, he really wanted to bring me on, you know.
You're
a really successful businessman, but just like that, like you mentioned earlier. But yeah, I just like, God, the money was great, but I wish he churned earlier, because I could bring that and say, okay, go to the another Windows company, like a new client, and just say, listen, this back end, the sales has to be in check. You've got to follow up the same thing that Aaron Darkin says, follow up twice a day, every day. So yeah, that's really interesting. So just to move on to like the end part, where do you, so we'll just touch on hiring and then move on to the future of Booked. So yeah, talk to me about hiring.
Yeah, so right now I've got one appointment setter. For context, this is another area I definitely should have moved quicker on. So I was doing all of the lead calling for like 6 months. So like I had this job at the same time, but I was still dialing people's leads as soon as they came through. The way I see that now, it's like a $10 to $20 an hour skill. And I should not have been doing that the whole time. Like if a lead dropped in throughout the day, even if I was working on a really important business task, I would have to stop everything and dial that lead and try and book them in. And that just meant I was splitting my focus between everything. I couldn't actually sit and get deep work done. So after about 6 months of doing that, which was ludicrous, I hired an appointment setter to come in and basically handle that side of things. So she now replies to all of the messages from the leads. She dials them twice a day for 7 days, tries to get to them within 5 minutes as soon as they come in. And honestly, that released so much pressure from my shoulders. I actually can't believe how long it took me to do that and how much free I was in a day. I was like, what the hell do I do with my time now? And now I'm looking at it like, I just want to remove everything. Like I want to outsource everything now, but I'm not. I'm moving very slowly with the media buyer side of things, because I appreciate with the media buying, if that goes wrong, then your whole business is kind of screwed. As long as I'm bringing leads in, I know my appointment set is good and she'll be able to book them in. But if I bring in a media buyer now and they like the results drop, clients get unhappy, then that whole thing will start. That's like the furthest upstream thing. That's where we need the results. That will be probably one of the last steps or hires I take. I want to bring on another appointment setter so that there's more coverage, there's more people to call the leads, and then we can start expanding the amount of accounts that we have so that there's more leads coming in and there's more basically getting booked in, because we've got double the setters. Once I've done that, and I think once I'm at about 20 accounts, I'm at about 9 at the minute, I'll probably bring on a media buyer. And then from there, I want to scale to the US as well. And then probably just double the pod that I built in the UK and literally duplicate it into America and hope it works. I think it will. So 2 setters for the US, 2 setters for the UK, and then 1 media buyer to handle all of the accounts. And then eventually, I plan on getting to 60K by the end of this year. I want a customer success manager that is handling all of the customer success basically and retention.
Okay, really interesting. That's class. Jeez, that's some plan. Like it's like it's proper, like it's very tangible.
Feels it. But,
yeah. No. So with time zones, first of all, like, how did you first hire that initial appointment setter?
Yeah, I've got a business coach, and he was like, mate, you just need to bloody hire now. And he was just like, run a Facebook ad in South Africa, try and hire someone. I basically used free materials that I saw online. So what I did was run an ad. It was really crap. Just said, calling all appointment setters in South Africa. And then the copy was like, we've got this opportunity for you, blah, blah, blah. Click through. The ad went to a form built on High Level, and that form basically asked them a series of questions. A couple of them were really important. So one was, can you please record a voice recording of you saying this message? And then another one saying, can you introduce yourself, to get basically an idea of what their accent was like. And then the others were like, do you have experience with Go High Level? Do you have experience with being in the call center before? Just stuff like that. And then basically what I would do is just filter through the recordings of their voice just to see what accents would be good to bring on board. And then I think from about 60 quid, I got 123 applicants or something like that. So around 100 applicants. I think 12 of them were good. I interviewed 12. Funny thing was, the last interview I was meant to do was the one I hired. And I was like, like, I feel like I've done enough interviews now. I'll probably sack this one off. And then jumped on a call and hired her on the spot because I was like, you are literally perfect. So yeah, it's a funny one. I would definitely think volume with the interviews. I've been burnt in the past with like VAs who just like stopped working and disappeared for ages and still took my money. So definitely like the volume in terms of interviewing is definitely key, because I would just hire way too quickly just to fill that hole, when realistically that hole got deeper because that person didn't deliver on what I wanted, sorry. So yeah.
Okay, that's really valuable. Thank you for sharing that. And just lastly, how are you going to basically scale to that mark that you mentioned?
Yes, great question. So I plan on, like I mentioned, I'm getting the outreach going again. I want that systemized to the point where I don't have to spend that much time on it. I want that to be bringing in a consistent flow of meetings every single week. I think once I get to 10K, which hopefully will be by the end of Feb, I've been saying this for the past year, but hopefully by the end of Feb, then I'll start running B2B ads, because I've got a few mates that are running B2B ads and they're killing it with it right now. And then hopefully once I've got the outreach systemized and it's outsourced, then I'm going to have the B2B ads running as well. So both of them are going to be delivering results. I think by the end of Feb, the outreach should be good to go, and then start ads in March, and then learn the ads, because I've never really done B2B ads before. So that might take me a month to actually learn what's going on and optimize them and figure out how to deliver results. And then by the end of March, what I want to do is start building the socials as well. So building the actual brand up, because I want to attack brands like, not like physically attack, but like I want to get at brands like FMA, Fit Pro, Gym Launch, and I want to make sure that people know we're delivering a different product to them and a better service, because they're not actually holding their side of the bargain. I've seen a lot of holes recently in what they deliver from their clients. So I know I could start taking market share if I start building a brand online. And I do think that branding side just builds so much trust. I've had people jump on a call with me before and then like goes really well. They're going to sign up and then they're like, oh, I just want to chat to some of your clients. Luckily, my clients love me. So like one of them just gave them a call and just discussed all the results that we've driven, which is very good, very handy. That's a little tip, actually. If you've got a client that loves you and you've got them good results and there's a prospect on the edge, on the fence, basically, just get your clients to drop them a message or a call or a voice note just saying how you've worked with them, and that'll probably knock them over the side, which is really, really valuable. So yeah, long story short, I want to get the outreach cranking over the next month and a half, then start ads, and then have both funneling in, booking me hopefully 10 appointments a week by the end of the year, hopefully. And then we want to start building the socials up. So actually building a bit of a brand on Instagram, on Facebook, so that people can click through it and actually see we're real people. And I think all three of those funnels should bring me in enough clients and enough appointments to get to 60K by the end of the year.
Class. That's really valuable. So best of luck with that
yes,
scaling system. Sounds really promising, and you have a real plan set in your mind. So we'll leave it there. I appreciate the time.
All good.
I'll send you a link when I have it up, and I might share it in the community as well.
Nice. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, Luke, I won't keep you too much on the Sunday. I appreciate the time.
Good.
Thanks,
good. No worries. Nice to speak to you.
Best of luck. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All good.
Bye.